YouTube land, Rival here. Thanks for stopping by. First video of 2018, and it's March. Sorry for the hiatus, but needed to take a little bit of time off from making videos, buying knives, and doing all that jazz. I got lots of stuff in the pipe for you, though. Lots of things have been building up since I've been gone. But I wanted to start off by showcasing the new knife that I got. It is the first of the 2018 Zero Tolerance releases announced at SHOT Show, and it is the evolution of kind of all of these knives moving forward. The first ZT that Hinderer put out was the 0550, 560, 562. This is a Maximus. This isn't a ZT. This is actual a Rick Hinderer in-house design, but the reason this is on here is because of this guy. This is the ZT393. This is a full production, and it is basically a 392, which was the special editions that were released over the last 2 years. If you go back through my videos, I had showcased each and every one of those at some point in time. And then it's mixed just a little bit with the Maximus in that it showcases the new overlays. This is something that you had seen on the Maximus line. They carried it over to this. So we'll get these guys out of the way. You know, the first nice thing about this guy is the price point. I think these came in at like $240, somewhere around there. Whereas the 392s, those were all $500. And this, you still get something that's pretty showy. You've got the DLC coat with satin flats on the blade grind, which was featured on many of the 392s. You've got a bead blasted and anodized handle, which is blue. But really, I mean, you take these overlays off, send it my way, and we can make it any color you want. I've seen USA-made blade already selling them in different colors, in bronzes and purples and greens. So really, you know, any color on the spectrum, this can be changed or modified to. I am working on a pair of scales for these, so I'm sure in a video very soon, or if you check my Instagram feed on any regular basis at Rival Knives on Instagram, you'll see what I come up with for some new scale overlays using this material, which is unidirectional carbon fiber with a woven top layer. Back to this guy. The really nice thing, though, is that for the three new releases that ZT came out with, they used 20 CV steel, which has quickly been becoming one of my favorite steels. That steel is also on this Maximus, and I've been carrying the shit out of this knife. I really like that steel, and it is nearly analogous, or not nearly analogous, it is analogous to M390. CTS 204P has just a couple of elements that are slightly different, but the three of those steels are very, very similar to each other. Very good edge retention and toughness, while at the same time you're actually able to sharpen and strop them, I would say at an intermediate level, not like S110V or 3V or something like that, which would really take a proficient sharpener to be able to get a good keen edge on those. Because this has the overlays, it is a bit thinner than a lot of other ZTs. This has a custom scale on it, but you still get the idea. The titanium itself is a bit thinner because you're not making a full scale out of it. And then, so that makes it very nice and very pocketable, very compact. It comes in at 5 ounces. So, you know, you're not really losing any weight because you've still got the two overlays. You've got the nice steel. You've got solid titanium handles. There's not really a lot of room for them to be able to relieve them or anything like that. 3.5-inch cutting edge. So it is very similarly sized to the 392. Blade length is nearly identical. Handle length is nearly identical. I wish I still had one of my 392s to put this up against, but you know, this is a channel where I got to flip some knives to get some other knives, so unfortunately I don't have any of those left, which again is the nice thing of this bad boy. You can actually get one of these and keep it as opposed to you know, spending $500 on a knife and wondering if you're going to carry it, if it's going to scuff it up, is it going to affect resale value if you want to get rid of it, stuff like that. You know, I wish I could have kept some of those 392s, but had to keep things moving. This, on the other hand, is going to go nicely in the collection of other hinderers that I got. And that's, you know, something else that I kind of like about this knife is that each of these, to get to the point they're at, I had to sink some significant time and money into getting them looking nice, having that additional carbon fiber on the top, getting the blues on there, getting them anodized. I mean, I did it all myself, but if you were to do it or have someone like me do it, I mean, you're spending, you know, probably an extra $100 on each of those knives to get them at the point where they're not just, you know, black show scale with tumbled titanium hardware. This kind of factory pimped. I really like the black overlay, or I mean the black DLC overlay G10. I mean, it's nice if that pattern is something that you dig. Not quite for me, which is why eventually that's going to get lost. But I like the fact that they've got all black hardware. They've got black back spacers, which you're probably not going to be able to see in my light. I'm sorry. One of these days I'm going to get a new light rig. I promise. You've got the silver studs, which goes with the theme of the blade. You know, people are always going to bitch about pocket clips. I actually like this pocket clip. I think it's for a bendy clip, it's low profile enough. It's really unobtrusive. Simple little bit of a design on there. It's swappable with any other hinderer clip or steel flame clip, as is the filler tab, swappable with any other, you know, steel flame, blingy blingy, whatever you want. So there's still lots of upgrades that are available. I haven't tried it yet, but I assume that these inserts are going to be the exact same ones that you can go to Hinderer's website and get replacement standoffs for. I actually, you know what? I'll have to try. I have a Maximus right here. Ooh, butt to butt. Yeah, it looks pretty close. I might see if I can swap in some titanium ones there. So yeah. I'm trying to think of things I hadn't discussed. Ergos, you know, I've talked a lot on the 392 series. I really love the ergonomics of this knife. The two finger choils and then the handle shape really gets into the palm of your knife, and this little dip really falls where your thumb is going to be. So the ergonomics of this knife are some of the best of any knife out there. It's an amazing knife to hold. It doesn't feel like a 5-ounce knife, especially, you know, when you hold it or when it's in your pocket. So the weight was a bit of a surprise. Nice harpoon tip. That blade shape is simply amazing. And that grind, I mean, it's got basically a Tonto grind where you've got a hard flat and then a hard forward, but it's just got the rounded edge. So not quite the Spanto style where they do the flat. They'll do, on a Spanto, they'll do a flat front and then they'll do a hollow grind here. So it gives you more of a aggressive look. But this, love that blade grind, man. Love it. Love it, love it. And again, in 20 CV, amazing knife. Yeah, so this was the first to hit the streets of the releases for 2018 for ZT. The 462. That's the Sinkovich Persian, the larger version of the 460. That is actually starting to hit some dealers as of today, so I've got one of those on its way to me. As soon as I get that, I'll get that up for you too. And then there is the R.J. Martin, what is it, like the 609, I believe it is, with the pivotless pivot. That looks like a smaller ZT, so I'm really excited to see what that feels like in hand. I've got some Kershaws on order too. You know, at SHOT Show, the thing that surprised me the most was some of the offerings from Kershaw, specifically like the Natrix that's going to be coming out in copper. As soon as that hits the streets, we'll get some of that stuff up there for you. But I actually got a blue and carbon fiber Fraction, which is a surprisingly awesome little knife, and a couple other things that we will get up over the next few weeks. So for those of you that stuck around, came back to this video after a little bit of a hiatus, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Check out what we got next week. Peace.